Hi, everyone. I'm picking up on this energy, and it feels like someone here is struggling with maybe a type of addiction, not necessarily a chemical addiction, but maybe behavioral addiction is what's coming through, or an addiction to a particular mindset or viewpoint on life. I do really believe we can get into an unknown addiction of the mind where we can sit and ruminate on something for a long period of time. And in that rumination, we become very, very indecisive. And even though we want to fulfill a decision, somehow the sensation that comes to us in that time period of rumination is so satisfying and gratifying that we just keep returning to that point. That's the type of addiction that I'm picking up on right now, where if this person could let go of that ruminating behavior, that maybe they can actually gain physical momentum in life, in tangible life. So let's see what we get. I grabbed my Love Messages Oracle deck for Twin Flames. Somehow that seems to be the right deck to begin. So let's go ahead and see what we get. I'm gonna shuffle. That was too many. I'm gonna put those back. Let me get a few more. I like to shuffle for a few to come out at a time. A few more, please. Okay, I think the last card here is intensity, and that's what I'm feeling actually. Somehow a degree of intensity around this mental mindset, perhaps. So let me see what kind of cards we have here. Let's see if I can put something together. Yeah. Okay, so actually one of the earlier cards that came out is thinking. And this card says, I am thinking about you at this moment. The thoughts of you never leave my mind, no matter where I go. The songs I'm hearing remind me of you. It makes me more vulnerable, and I think about you even more. And then, of course, this card, intensity. Our connection is so intense that sometimes it scares me. But this is my point. I think the intensity is actually coming back into the thinking that this person gets caught up in their memory, in wondering if this is the direction they want to take in their life. It's almost as if they're having to come up with a decision. They're at this crossroad. Now, I did not get a card about crossroads, but I did get this card, sleepless. The anxiety is keeping them awake at night. My life has changed since I met you. I am trying to figure out what this is all about, what it means. So that's kind of coming into this energy that I've been picking up on. So, okay, I think we're tapping into the right energy here. This is what is going on. And then there's also this degree of daydreaming. Okay, so this is another card, daydream. I often fantasize about you. I daydream about you every day. Okay, so we're seeing that this is just coming through. This person, I use the word ruminating. They're in their feelings, they're in their thoughts, they're getting this anxiety about what to do, maybe where do they need to be. I think um they're a little bit confused. Perhaps there's this card here, karmic battles, and maybe they're trying to really understand if this is a dynamic that is going to serve them, if there are certain dynamics in their life that have been there for a long time, but they're trying to recognize whether or not they still serve them, what they need to let go. So this card is saying, please be patient with my process of growth and change as I come into my power. I am making sure that everything is in alignment so I can be with you. I am severing my ties with karmic situations and completing cycles. Oh, very interesting. So, you may be connected to someone who is experiencing all of this, or maybe you've been on the fence wondering if your person is stuck in some sort of pattern. Um, you yourself may be stuck in this pattern, though I'm not fully feeling that. I don't feel this is you being stuck in that pattern. You may be picking up on the person you're connected to being stuck in this pattern. So the other message I have here is transparency. Now I'm trying to pull these as I see, as the flow is coming to me. So there's this degree of transparency. Oh, you see right through me. Interesting. So I was just saying you are picking up on this person. Um, so you're picking up on what they're feeling, and they actually feel that. They feel almost like a knowing that you see through them, that they can't really hide anything from you. And it's almost in being distant. You might be in separation here. We'll have to confirm with some other cards. Um, but it's almost like you're in separation, and this person knows that if they got close to you, if you saw them right now, you would actually see a lot of their own inner battle that they're going through, and they don't want to come forward that way. They don't want you to see them that way. They know how much you see right through them. They know they can't hide anything from you. They would struggle to really look you in the eye. They're not fully sure where they stand with their emotions, and I think this is part of why they're not wanting to come forward. They are trying to right themselves. They're trying to declutter all this stuff that's going in and out of their mind. So they do feel vulnerable to come forward, but it's vulnerability from a place of uh is sort of a little inner turmoil with what they're having, and they just kind of want this time to work through it, to understand for themselves. And here I see the faith card. Um they have faith and hope that the connection um has been brought into their life for a reason. It's bigger than both of us. I know that we are destined to be together, and have faith in God that they will find the way. So there's faith here. It's a picture of a Buddha and some candles. So maybe they're partaking in some rituals here. Maybe they're partaking in meditation, actually, meditation and prayer, and recognizing that the connection between you, understanding this transparency. When someone feels you can see right through them, they know that there is a connection there. There is something that runs a lot deeper than the surface. So this person is really coming into various rituals of prayer and meditation to let this connection guide their process, to have faith that there is a destined interaction here. All right, let's see. We have message of love. Message of love. I am thinking about you, my love, even though you think I am not. I miss you every day and night. I am curious to know what you have been doing, how your days go by without me. Sometimes I wonder, do you even think of me? I am feeling the urge to reach out to you, my love, and I will. I will when the time comes, right? So somehow interesting, right? This person is doing prayers and meditation. They know that you could see right through them. They're having all this hard time. They're having some anxiety. There's this intense thinking. They're sleepless. They're having this anxiety. And they're sending this message of love, that they are thinking about you. And they're not even sure if you're actually thinking about them. They don't know. Um, they don't know. The other card here is, hold me. And thinking that this is really a state of separation. This is what is coming up as they daydream. They daydream about you holding them. They daydream about feeling your arms around them. Um, they don't feel right in the world not fully having you present in their life. They know that your love is really quite powerful to them. It gives them a lot of maybe security in life. Um, and it's just it's almost like right person but not the right time is what I'm getting. And then the final card that got pulled is follow your bliss. I feel good when I know you are happy. So this is their thought, right? Their thought is they feel good when they know you are happy. So what might be going on here is they're not ready to come forward because they know the state of mind that they are in is really not going to make you happy. It's going to cause more trouble. It's going to cause more trouble than good. So, okay, that's what we have here with the Love Oracle deck. So let's see. Let's go ahead and okay. So this is another the Love Oracle deck, Simplistic Mystic. And interesting, when I pulled the deck out of its case, the card on the bottom is addiction. It says toxic attachments, drugs, alcohol, obsession. So again, I'm not picking up on chemical addiction, but I am picking up on the ruminating, the thinking, the mindset, this, you know, constant, almost like victimhood, and this person staying in that energy. So I'm gonna take that card. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle and see what cards come out. Here more. One more time. One more shuffle. Okay. I think we got everything that wants to come out. So let's see. As I mentioned, we have addiction, we have anxiety. So confirmation um, from the last deck. Um, we do have some nice cards coming out here. All right. So let's see. There's one more. All right. So there is the addiction and anxiety. So there is some stress and maybe depression, those panic attacks, the restlessness, the sleeplessness. So this person is going through that and they are likely thinking about this breakup. So there was walking away and ending a separation, but they don't feel like it's over. So again, this is validating the first set of cards that we read. So there's an addiction, there's anxiety, and there's this restlessness um, because there's been a separation. You've been separated. I think it's probably been for a period of time, and that's why there's more anxiousness here. I don't think it's something that just happened in the last days or weeks. I think this has been going on for months. Um, but I do feel this person that's what part of what's giving them anxiety, the rumination, the addiction to the mindset. There's been so much time. There's almost like I don't know how to fully come to you. Um, there's a snake here. This card says deception, shady, temptation, enemy. So again, I think maybe this person wasn't fully honest with you, and that ties into the lack of transparency or the ability for you to see right through them, right? Maybe they tried to gaslight you or they said things that weren't really true and tried to confuse you a little bit. And that's the deception. And that may have led to the separation, to the ending here, because they weren't able to fully embody or step into what they were actually feeling. So, let's see, what we do have here though is healing. And this is very good. This person is recognizing that they have wounds. They're recognizing they want to mend these wounds. They want to improve. They want to come into a state of coherency here. So they are improving and they are making progress. That's very good. The next card, we have spiritual awakening. So again, it's almost like this person is on their path. I don't think they've had this yet, but I think they're in the direction of that. It's almost like they've placed it as a North Star, and this is where they want to go. They want to have the spiritual awakening. They're trying to do the inner work. They are wrapped up in their mind. They need to maybe step into their heart a little bit more. I'm not really seeing that here, but they they do have a very intense magnetic attraction. That's the next card is magnetic attraction. Um, they do find you irresistible. They even experience lust. So, that may be part of their ruminating. They know they need to come to you with something more substantial. They cannot allow the magnetic attraction to fully guide the relationship if they haven't fully embraced their emotions and healed their wounds and understand that being with you is beyond this magnetic attraction, that they feel something deeper here and they want to be able to go into the depth of what they're feeling. Okay, very interesting. Let's go ahead and I want to get a moon card to see. So I'm learning I can't multitask. Okay. So that might be something that's going on here. See, this person, they are kind of stuck. They're unable to get their thoughts fully out. Maybe they get distracted as they're trying to do something. So let's take that as part of a sign of what they might be experiencing. Okay. So this is Moonology. This is another Oracle deck. We might have to read from the book on this one. Let's just get a few of these. Let's see at the bottom of the deck here. Bring love into the situation. So, we were just saying that, right? This person is caught up in their mind and they need to come from their heart a little bit more. So they're feeling that magnetic attraction might be um, perhaps too physical or something in their mind. And they need to come into their heart space to really understand the depth of that connection. All right, this is a new moon in Aquarius. So bringing love into the situation. So that's beautiful. That could be that this person is um, on the next new moon. We just stepped into a new moon, but perhaps on the next new moon, they want to really think about coming from their heart space and let that bring a new energy into their life, right? So they're stuck. They're in that rumination. They're in that addiction. So hopefully that's what they're going to do. All right, let's shuffle. Let's see what we get. Okay, we had a couple flip here. Yeah. So we got it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. Oh my God, that's so beautiful because we just said, we're already in a new moon. So it's the next new moon that this person can really try to approach life through their heart, to start anew in their heart. And that means it's time to release this negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, these are really deep seated emotions and wounds, right? This is something that you can really sit in for a long time. You haven't expressed it to anybody. You don't want others to know. This is tying back into that transparency. And then we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. This is full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn, it's interesting. They're thought to really come into their power later in life. So the two of you may be a little bit older. This person may be a little bit older. And really trying to understand, how to close out the cycles. Maybe they've had this as a repeat pattern in the past. So let's get one more. Let's get one more. Two came out. The energy is gaining momentum. That is beautiful. Okay, that is beautiful. The energy is gaining momentum. So what I see here is this person is realizing they have to step out of these old patterns. They have to put an end to these old cycles. They have to release their negativity. They have to release their fears. They need to really start thinking about their heart space and get prepared for that new moon cycle. Beautiful. And then the last card, oh, well, the card that came out with this energy is gaining momentum is a personal issue reaches resolution. Oh my God, this is powerful. So 3 full moons. This is another full moon in Cancer this time. So 2 water signs and an earth sign. So you may be dealing with a water sign. We have Scorpio and Cancer here, but you also may be dealing with a Pisces. Um, these, right, very deep emotional people, when you're a water sign, sometimes you have a hard time really knowing the direction you want to go in because water takes the shape of the direction it goes in. So sometimes we see that with water signs. They take a longer time to ultimately make a decision. But it says here a personal issue reaches resolution. So I do think this person is going to really gain momentum in trying to have a fresh start in themselves, in not letting their mind ruminate the way it has been and allowing their heart to open up to heal the wounds that they've been dealing with. That's what I think is going on. I do not think this person will be ready to come towards you. I think this person is still just trying to learn how to juggle their own thought process right now, their own way of thinking, and how to come into their heart space, how to actually be in their heart space for a longer period of time without letting the addiction of the mind taking over. So, okay, let's go ahead. I grabbed, this is the wild unknown animal spirit, and I want to see, what we're coming into. So right away on the bottom, we have tarantula. And, okay, so the tarantula to me really represents feminine energy. And um, I I'm kind of picking up here that this person, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe they've been dealing with wounded feminine energy, um, maybe a mother wound, um, something that comes into really feeling nurtured. Maybe you've nurtured them. Maybe you have shown them a lot of love, maybe unconditional love, which, by the way, we cannot confuse unconditional love with unconditional tolerance. And, you're in separation for a reason, so something ended that dynamic. Um, Oh, let's see here. So that's actually the top of the deck. On the bottom of the deck is the butterfly. Okay. So a metamorphosis here. Oh, amazing. All right. Very interesting. I mean, this is corresponding. Oh, we have the raccoon. So raccoon, is an interesting energy. Because the raccoons, they will get drawn in very, very quickly to something shiny, and they want to gather it and bring it back to their house, their hut, and store it. And then they go out again and look for something shiny. So this, I think, is the energy that this person is actually trying to work through. They're actually trying to get this energy to calm down a little bit. All right, let's see what else comes out. Okay, 2 are coming out together. Oh, 3. Interesting. Okay, we have the fish and we have a crescent moon here. So yeah, again, water, right? So I'm seeing the water sign. And I'm seeing the feminine energy, but this crescent moon is reminding me of tapping into intuition. Now, I think this person is starting to understand that there's much more than their mind. There's much more that is wanting to speak to them than their mind. And that's part of that addiction, right? And coming into this new moon phase, they're wanting, and this is a crescent moon. So it's almost like they know there's a heart space, there's an intuitive space, there's a spirit body here with them too. And this is telling me that there's this curiosity there. So especially after the raccoon, right, coming out of something bright and shiny and grabbing it and going out for it again, it's like, oh, hey, there's something more going on, and I want to come into the depths. I want to come down deeper into the waters to better understand. And then we have the starfish. So again, the starfish, is such a beautiful creature, and they can latch on. You can find them in tide pools, and they do really love being at the surface of the water, but then going down deep into the water, right? Um, and then we have the camel. Okay, interesting. So what I see with the camel, and there's a crescent moon here again. So I do feel like this crescent moon, the new moon cycle, the next new moon cycle is going to be really important for this person. It's going to be an opportunity for them to hit the pause button on that mental rumination and really try to come into their heart space, their intuitive space. Um, Now at the bottom of the deck, we have the spider, and there's this beautiful spider web. All the chakra colors are on this spider web, and it reminds me of this phrase. I used to say this all the time. Um, oh, the webs of life we weave, and we must weave in a full human experience. If we stay in the mind, we lose sight of the heart space. We lose sight of our spiritual space. The physical space is present with the mind, right? The mind connects to the body. So mind and body are going to be there. But if we're not careful and we're not fully making this beautiful web of life, we're going to miss out on our heart space and the spirit space. The heart connects to the spirit. And it's the bridge between the heart and the mind that allows us to connect the body with the spirit. And all of a sudden, the spirit becomes expressed through the body. And it's not that the spirit lives in the body lives in the spirit. And it's once you can link your heart and your mind together that the heart, it's almost like it funnels down the spirit to be expressed by the way the body looks, and that's what this person is kind of missing right now. They might be very physically attractive, but somehow here, they've shut down the heart space and the spiritual space. They're not sure about it, but they know they need to tap into it. So that's what I'm seeing. This person wants to broaden the web of life here and open up their heart space. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Okay, so I think we're really understanding the energy of this person. Oh, I have here the wild unknown archetypes. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm curious what's going to come out for this person. What archetype are they in right now? What would describe them? Let's get a few. Let's get a few of these. A couple more, please. Oh, wow. I feel like this is picking up on you. Um, on what they think of you. Um, they already know that you're transparent, that you're able to read through them. You're able to read through them and um, pick up on their energies, pick up on what's going on with them. So interesting. So there is the cards of mystic here, and I think that's you. I think that's you. There's also the river. They see that you're able to flow with life. You're flowing. You're with water. You're able to navigate these energies of the world and not get too trapped up, not get too confused in anything. Um, for them, okay, there's a lot, so I'm trying to make sense of it here. They have a vision for their life. Okay, they've had this vision for their life. So that's one of the cards here is vision. And with this vision, they built the castle. They have a castle here. And in building this castle, it's almost like they made a vow in their life. And I don't mean a vow in the way of being married. I don't think this person is married. I haven't had any inclination of that. So maybe if you are connected to someone who is already in a relationship or a marriage, I have not seen anything come through with third party um, or marriage or that kind of thing. We will confirm with tarot, but that's not the energy that I've been picking up on. But this person has made a vow, and what they didn't realize when they made this vow um, is that there's a sword here, and the sword is very decisive, and it sort of cuts things off. You know, you're going to have one side in this one compartment and the other side in another compartment, and that's what I'm picking up on. That they've almost compartmentalized. Side of the cards has it has the sun, but it's dark, and on the other side where it's bright, there's a crescent moon. And so here, what I'm seeing again, it's almost like the yin and yang, but they've compartmentalized themselves because it's the sword. It's sort of like they cut that side off for them. They had their vision, they built their castle, they had this vow, they had this direction in life. They're just going to go right toward it, right? They're just going to go, they're going to build their connection. Everything is going to be beautiful. Okay, yeah, here's the agape card. So this agape is showing that all of you can think about them as chakras, but everything's lined up in their life. They have everything perfect. Everything is looking amazing. And then all of a sudden, you, the mystic, comes along. Okay. Yes. Yeah. You, the mystic, you've come along. Your life is just flowing like a river. Oh my God. You have this beautiful riverbank that acts as your container. The water is flowing. And at times, you are just at peace. At other times, you become very spontaneous. You have certain passions that arise. You may fall like a beautiful waterfall. You may be the roaring rapids at other times. So you are just flowing with life, and it is so contrary to what they're seeing here. It is so contrary, and it's coming out as the venom. Okay, the venom. This venom is putting them in a state of alarm, right? They're kind of afraid. They're so attracted to you because it's so different, but at the same time, I see this venom as, the thing that's the toxin that comes in and exposes all of their wounds, how they ended up in this perfect life. I have the perfect vision. I'm going to build the perfect castle. I'm going to, I vow to do these perfect things. I'm going to compartmentalize my life. I'm going to align everything exactly the way I like. Right. So this is very confusing for them. And that's what this venom has done is it's really opening up their wounds. And um, interestingly enough, there's some mirroring going on here. So maybe we have the mirror. Maybe what's happened here is that you have exposed a toxin in them. It has reopened some wounds. They are trying to deal with things, but maybe it has also opened some wounds in you. I don't know. There's some I've not been given anything here. So, take it as it resonates. Don't make it fit. If this mirror, it might just be that something in you is mirroring back to them. Maybe it's reminding them of what they've had to compartmentalize in their life to make everything look so perfect. You guys are connected. So the red thread is here. There is a connection between you two. So again, another confirmation of feeling connected. Something in, as a fated encounter between the two of you. Now, there's nothing much more here going on. The last card that we have here is um Thanatos, Thanatos. And what I see here is another web. There's another web, but this time in the center of the web is a woman and a bunch of hands trying to touch each other and connect. And I think this is really powerful. This woman looks like she's either very sad or trying to reach a hand out to help with healing. That is not you. You are not to do that. I'm not suggesting that. But what I see here is that maybe it's tying back into that mother wound again, that the mother wound, the mother is the one who consoles. The mother is the one who helps to build our full expression of self. They help us build the emotional side. They help us build our physical side. They help us build the masculine energy with goals and having discipline and having rituals in our life. And then that feminine side. So that's what I think is going on here with that. Okay, very interesting. Again, so this person, well, no wonder why they're ruminating. No wonder why they're having addictions. They're so confused. They've come across you, the mystic, who just flows with life. And it's not that you don't have a plan in life, but you flow with the riverbank, right? You allow the riverbank to take you. For this the energy I was feeling, I grabbed the majority of my decks here are from the Wild Unknown. And so I've grabbed the Wild Unknown Tarot. Let's go ahead and see what tarot has to say. Whoa, that's too many. Everything's falling out here. Oh, interesting. What fell out face up is Justice and the Emperor. Wow. Wow. You may have really ignited this person. Okay, let's see. A few more, Spirit. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have so far. We may have to get some more. Um, oh wow. Okay, so we have the Fool. We have a lot of major arcana coming out here. We have the Fool, the Magician, the Lovers, Justice, and the Moon. Are you kidding me? These are all major arcanas. Um, the Mother of Cups. That is so interesting. And the Hanged Man. Whoa, these are major arcanas. Whoa, this person is on the brink of maybe some deep understanding, changing their perspective. We've got the hanged man. The image of the hanged man here is actually a bat that's hanging upside down. Wings are closed. Let's try to get a few more cards. Some are flipping, but they're not actually coming out. They're being fussy. They're being fussy. This is so interesting. Here we go. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have temperance. Temperance. That is for you. That is for you. Temperance. Can you be patient? This person that you're connected to has a lot of healing. They have a lot of healing. Um, they need time. They need time. It's interesting. The moon card is actually a crescent moon here. And normally I've seen the moon card with a full moon, fully illuminating what is subconscious, maybe fully illuminating what lurks in the shadows, right? And this is a crescent moon. So that's what I mean. It's like this person is in the beginning of this journey of just realizing they need to change their perspective. And that's the magician. The magician is here. Now the lovers are here too, but I here for the lovers. I think this is about understanding themselves, right? It's that sacred union of the masculine and feminine energies. Interesting. All right. Then we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, and there is a mouse on these Four of Cups. Okay. And the energy of a mouse is perfectionism, Perfectionism. Oh my. So this person, it ties back in to the archetype cards that we got, right? This person had a vision. They were going to go out, they're going to build their castle. They made a vow, they're going to do things X, Y, Z. Everything is going to be perfect, perfect, perfect. That's what this is talking to. And so far, this is the first card that is not from the major arcana. Okay, so very, very interesting here. All right. Then we have the Six of Wands with a butterfly. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So, in time, temperance, a hanged man, a new perspective, the magician, the fool. Now we come into the Six of Wands and this beautiful butterfly. So, this person is going to come to that point. They are going to come to an authentic state of being, one that is balanced, which ties back into the lovers. It's balanced within them, within their masculine and feminine energy. And there is a lot. There is a lot of support here for them to get there. I mean, the magician, justice, hanged man, the fool, the moon. So everything here is trying to draw this person to come into a deeper sense of authenticity of who they are. Wow. Oh my God. And then we have the Seven of Wands. So there is a progression. There is a progression and there is a flame being lit in them. There's a flame being lit. They are coming to understand themselves. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we get. Okay. The sun. Oh my God. So I don't know. This person, oh my God, they have the sun and the moon again with the lovers. So yeah, this is like this person needing to come into inner balance, balance of their masculine and feminine energy. They are going to be healing these wounds. One more shuffle. All right. We got the chariot. So which is this beautiful stallion with a crescent moon at the top of their forehead. Kind of if you imagine a unicorn, there's this crescent moon. The chariot, that this is a rapid movement. So this is confirming to me this new moon is going to be a pivotal time for this person. I think they are going to break their addiction. I think they're going to come into their heart space. They're going to come to understand intuition. They're going to come to understand this connection is much deeper, that this connection was fated and destined, and they are wanting to heal. That's what I'm seeing here, my loves. They are wanting to heal. They have the sun on their side, they have the moon on their side, they have the Six of Wands coming into their authentic self, knowing this is what they want to be in their life. They are wanting this in their life. They are ready for this change. They are ready. So, I think for you, we see that you're the mystic. We see that you're flowing with life. I want you to keep flowing with life. Temperance is here. Temperance is here. That means this person needs time. This person needs time. They know they need to break their addiction of the mind. They know that not that life is not all coming from the mind, that they need to reopen their heart. They had that sword that really compartmentalized their life, and they're going to break free from that and really try to open up their heart space. So I do see the time window here is this next new moon. This is coming in fast. All right, my loves, that's what I have for you today. I'll talk to you again soon.